A very good afternoon from the Curtin University Hockey Stadium, where we're about to get round 19 of the Western Australia Men's Premier League match underway between top of the table Fremantle and Victoria Park. Should be an absolute cracker of a game. It's wonderful conditions, not too hot, the sun is shining, and there's not even a slight breeze blowing across the ground. Just the players going through their final warm-up. Just a couple of players to look for in each of these teams. Jason Gabriel at the moment is the top scorer for Vic Park, and he's one to look out for in their lineup. And then if we turn our attention to Fremantle, well, their captain coach Matthew Butterini is always a player to look out for in their lineup. And Nick Tate is another one who at the moment has 12 goals to his name in the season. And one of the up-and-coming players is Riley Foltz. Dom Hurd, you feel in goal for Vic Park, will be in for a busy afternoon. But he was in good form when we saw him last time on one of these live streams. And no doubt he'll be in good form again today. We'd like to thank our sponsors first up who are making this live stream possible. That is Tiger Turf, Ausdrill, Danks Furniture, Sportslink International, FMG and Kookaburra. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to bringing you all the action from this match today. As I mentioned, top of the table Fremantle played 18, won 12, lost 4, drawn 2. Currently with 38 points, but they're getting close at the top because UWA are on 36 points in second place. Wasps are on 36 points and YMCC are also on 36 points. So Fremantle, anything less than a win today, you feel will cause problems at the top of the table. Vic Park, in the meantime, they want to just get a couple of wins under their belt and force themselves, if they can, into that top 4. But sitting on 16 points, it looks like it's going to be a very big ask to close in on the teams that are getting near to 40 points in the season. When they met in April, it was Fremantle that were victorious by 3 goals to 2 in what was a very close game. Ben Taylor scoring 2 penalty corners for Vic Park in that match, and no doubt Fremantle will be looking out for him in the match today. Ben Taylor wearing number 16 for Vic Park. The players now just having the final words from their coaches, and then they will make their way out onto the turf. Our umpires for this match are Tim Gears and Matthew Claxton. There's Matthew Bird, who's got a stress fracture of his ankle, I believe, so he won't be playing. Simon Orchard also missing for Fremantle, and we were told just today the teams were announced yesterday, and Flynn Ogilvie was in the Fremantle lineup, as was Jake Wetton in the Vic Park lineup, but the AIS, or the Australian program, have said that they want to just rest those players because obviously they're part of the international program and the World Cup coming up in India later this year in late November, and Australia wanting to make sure that they have all their top players available for that match. So Vic Park having made their way out onto the turf. Just wait for Fremantle. So leading the way for them, Phil Hulbert, wearing the number 11 shirt. Sorry, it's not Phil Hulbert. What am I talking about? It's James McPherson, the captain of Fremantle. Phil Hulbert's the Vic Park 11. So one final huddle for the Magpies, as Fremantle are known. And of course, Vic Park, the Panthers. Will be Fremantle to get us underway in this match in round 19, looking for yet another win as they try to make their way through to the grand final in 2018 and at least be crowned minor premiers. As a little hush comes over the Perth Hockey Stadium here at Curtin University. Just the birds cawing in the background as we push back and get things underway. 2 halves of 35 minutes to be played. Don't play the quarters. Immediately having to go back is McCormick. Pressure being applied well by Vaitakanis. 2 Vaitakanis brothers playing for Vic Park. Andrew wearing 21 and Hayden in 24. Hopefully there's not a competition going on between the two of them as to who's going to get the most goals, because Hayden has 7 goals this season and Andrew just the 1. So I'd say that Hayden's well ahead at the moment. Good steal, ball in the air, but that will be intercepted and picked up well by Andrew Walker. Plays it out onto the right-hand side. Fremantle looking for the run up ahead, and they find it of Declan Spencer. Spencer, though, stopped from getting further forward by Ben Taylor. And the bodies forward for Fremantle. And just a free hit one on the edge of the D by captain coach, or rather coach and player Matthew Butterini. Stealing away from him at the edge of the D, comes out to Gabriel now. Gabriel playing it forward. And over the side it goes off the stick of Darryl McCormick. Good collection from Gabriel. Looks to just cut back, and he's frustrated with himself giving possession away. Scrappy by both sides at the moment, neither really with the ascendancy, as the ball now comes to Sasha Thomas. Thomas bursting forward. What a tackle from McCormick. Deemed fair by the umpire. There were some quizzical looks from Vic Park, but no complaints verbally. Thomas again took a deflection, and slipping at the top of the circle as it came off his foot was James Collins. Help forward by Mark Ellis. I don't know if you can hear the birds cawing here. I'm not sure if they are magpies or crows. It sounds as if the bird life is out to support the Magpies, Fremantle. Pressure applied up front by Tim Bottler. Good to see him back. He has had a few hip and lower back issues. Of course, he's an Australian floorball international, as Gabriel just cracks that into the shins of McCormick. Plays on. Gabriel to the baseline. Good tackle coming in the end from Ellis. Watched and brought down well by Ben Taylor. Plays it out onto the left-hand side as Vic Park find a little bit of space, and running into that space was Collins. Into the corner he goes. Has to come back. Again, using the width of the pitch well, Vic Park. Play it down the line, but that'll be easily cut out by Collins. Gives it straight back, though, to Bircher. Butterini getting the touch and then coming back to help out Tim Bottler. Bottler dispossessed. Vic Park trying to weave the way through the middle. Eventually goes back to Fremantle. Bircher, just a short pass back. Lifted into the air, and Taylor can't bring that one down. It went over his head and out of play. Riley folds from the side net. McCormick. Intercepted again by Hulbert. Played forward, and McCormick at full stretch managed to steal it back for Fremantle. Good pass looking out for Butterini. And then the deflection forward, though, didn't quite fall for Chad Giles, and possession back with Vic Park. So 5 minutes gone, neither team with a shot. It's been scrappy in parts by both sides. No one really with the ascendancy as yet. Last year it was honours evens when these two met. Fremantle lost the opening game 3-2, and as I mentioned, they won 3-2 in the opening game last year. Brought down well again by Bircher. And then in the return fixture it was Fremantle who were victorious by 1-0. So you just wonder whether Vic Park may steal a victory today. Long ball played forward. It was a good run coming from Aidan Lowes, but not able to get on the end of it. McCormick looking to throw the aerial pass. Brought down well on the reverse stick by Ian Bircher. Butterini, short pass from him. You can see there's a big gap in the midfield, just forward line pushing very high, and for Vic Park, and then also Fremantle pushing very high up the pitch in their attacking area. That's probably why we're seeing a lot of possession given away in the midfield. Good break forward coming from Hayden Vetakenis. Receives the ball again. He was just overshot that, and Riley Folds almost stole it back and applies pressure on Denver Farmer. Folds continuing to pressure Bircher, but he gets the pass away. Good lead from Pampling. Pampling along the baseline, but just pushed over the side, and so it'll be a long corner. Kieran Abbott with the tackle. Bircher, good diagonal pass, picks out Farmer. Farmer slaps it into the deep. Butterini, good touch and got it clear at the second attempt and keeps it in play, just lifts it over the stick of Farmer. Butterini carries forward, nothing really ahead of him. And that's swept clear. Good tackle from Collins. And now Farmer with a little bit of space. Then a wall of black and white shirts in front of him. Kept in play brilliantly by Declan Spencer, but it's back with Vic Park. You can't criticise the intensity of this match. Certainly, the team's not holding back. Just pushed forward, and Sasha Thomas giving possession back to Fremantle, but over the side it goes. Vic Park again with the chance to mount another attack. Bircher, short pass to Shane Benful. That's a lovely diagonal pass out wide, played in. Gabriel kept it alive and cleared in front of the keeper by Fremantle. Now picked up by Oliver Hill. Hill takes a tumble. And Vic Park keep the ball in play through Bircher. Denver Farmer. Back to Bircher again as he was put under pressure by Viren Morat. Just taking a slip there was Jack Pampling, but he did well to keep possession for Vic Park. That was good play on the sideline coming from Dylan Rowe. And trying to break forward is Andrew Vetakenis. It's all Vic Park at the moment, certainly, but they just haven't managed to get a shot in anger. Bircher looked for the direct attempt and he just went off Pampling's stick. See Jonathan Ellis in goal for Fremantle, just shielding his eyes at the moment. The sun beginning to drop in the Perth afternoon. There's not much to shield your eyes when you're wearing a helmet. Cutting infield now is Spencer. Good pass forward, manages to find Murat. Stolen back though, and Hulbert carries forward. Finds Gabriel in a little bit of space. Good lead by him to create that space. Comes back to try and steal it back, but one hand on the stick, and bursting forward is Spencer again. He loses that. Gabriel plays it infield, gives possession away, and now McPherson, captain of Fremantle, plays it out wide to his coach, Butterini. First time pass. Comes back eventually to Bathmanahan. Appeals for a free hit from Fremantle, and McPherson not given, and Vic Park just play it up the side, and unfortunately Pampling couldn't keep that in play because there was a good chance had he done so. Well, there were 3 defenders back for Fremantle. Just there was a bit of space for which he could have combined with Gabriel. A little show and break by Mark Ellis. McCormick again looking for options. There's very little on, so he had to just go square back to Ellis. Riley Folds has pulled wide on the left-hand side. Slowly inching their way up the pitch. Ellis goes the aerial route. That'll be meat and drink for Bircher. Keeps it in play. Bircher scanning ahead. What options are there? And tried the diagonal pass, but there was absolutely nobody there for Vic Park. Raised his hand in apology. Once again, just like to thank some of the sponsors making this live stream possible. Tiger Turf, Ausdrill and FMG, the new force in iron ore. So Vic Park ball now. Is this where they'll get their first shot? Into the D it goes, deflected away. Pushed back in. Folds, good defensive play from him, and just clears the danger over the sideline. Bradley Clark. Good pass in the end, coming to Collins. Collins just helps it out into the path of Denver Farmer. Back to Collins again. And just too far ahead of Ben Taylor. He thought about going for it and then realised that was a hopeless cause. Stolen rather easily by Pampling. Infield it comes now, and Hulbert looking for options. Good pass from him. Managed to pick out Peter Kennis. Carried forward again now by Brodie Sayre. Into the corner goes Ellis. Gives it to Folds. Folds carries forward, and Butterini just lets it run under his stick. Farmer slides it down the line. Rather wild swing from Ellis. And Peter Kennis penalised for lifting the ball too high and deemed dangerous by the umpire. Looked a little bit miffed. He thought it was good skill by him. Folds brings it down out of the air, cuts infield, closed down by Peter Kennis. Murat does well. Butterini. It's a good pass from him. Looked as if it was played off the foot, but still alive. Murat, top of the circle. He's looking to try and play it to the baseline, but away it goes and out of play. — 15 minutes almost elapsed, and still as yet neither keeper called into action, but plenty of action in the middle of the pitch. Fremantle, you would have to say, been under more pressure defensively than Vic Park. Ellis almost dispossessed by Gabriel, but Butterini to the rescue. McCormick helps it forward. Butterini with a really good lead by him. And just tried to play it forward, picked up by Pat Manahan. Butterini denied the ball into the circle by a good block from Bradley Clark, who kept possession, then loses out to Pat Manahan. Ellis carries forward for Fremantle. And he's fouled by Gabriel retreating. Another tame blow of the whistle. I think the players would have liked a more assertive whistle. And the free hit taken quickly by Kieran Abbott. Abbott tries to get a shot, and the block coming in from Hulbert. Free hit awarded to Vic Park. Desperation again, a really good dive coming from Abbott. Saw possession back with Fremantle, but it's won back again by Vic Park. Hulbert doing good work again in the midfield, just in front of his defensive line. Over the top it goes to Gabriel, coming off his line brilliantly was Jonathan Ellis and just poured the ball away. Just a touch from Gabriel would have taken him past Ellis. Here come Vic Park again. Eventually the whistle goes for the stick check on Pampling, played on quickly. Probably a little bit too quickly. The pass wasn't that firm, and therefore the first time pass into the circle had no pace on it and was easy to be collected by Fremantle. But very positive at the moment from Vic Park. Dylan Rowe, a little bit of space, looks up, slides it in. Gabriel was at the near post, but just couldn't get his body round to deflect it towards goal. They're getting closer, the Panthers. They're prowling around the circle at the moment. Not down the line, but again, no power and intercepted well by Bradley Clark. Ball won back though by Spencer. Played out wide and just played behind him by Murat. Comes back to Murat. Butterini is on the left. Ellis caught in two minds and then decides to go straight through the middle. Just the touch coming defensively off the stick of Dylan Rowe. So it'll be a Fremantle ball from the side, right by the corner flag. Comes back to Riley Folds, goes on the reverse, just got underneath it. Just lifted it a little bit high. I think he felt it was lifted off the Vic Park stick, but I think it was going in the air before it touched the Panthers stick. Superb aerial pass across the pitch, but unfortunately Denver Farmer at full stretch just couldn't bring it down and keep it in play. Gone past the halfway stage of the first half. Just a reminder, Fremantle top of the table at the moment in the Men's Premier League. Looking to maintain that position if they can with a victory today, because they got close on their heels, UWA Wasps and YMCC. 12 teams in the league, so not that many fixtures left. This is round 18, or rather round 19. If you are tuning in for the first time, we will be bringing you all the finals action in a live stream as well, courtesy of sponsors SportsLink International, Kookaburra and Danks Furniture, proudly West Australian owned. So a quarter of an hour to go until halftime. Are we going to see somebody break the deadlock before the halftime break? At the moment, Vic Park have seen the most likely. But to be fair, Fremantle have been rock solid in defence. Riley Folds now put under pressure immediately. Just push the ball around the body of Hayden Vaitakanis. Ball now from the side. Collins weighing up his options, slides it down the line, but there was no runner there from Vic Park. Just a delay as 2 balls on the pitch. Folds pass forward, intercepted well by Sasha Thomas. McCormick again, creating space for himself, just dropping back, folds, dinks it forward, put under control well and just helped down the line, and Oliver Hill eventually got the ball. That was brilliantly controlled and good pass forward back to Hill coming from Chad Giles. So the long corner now. James McPherson over the ball, goes back to McCormick. Slides it out onto the right-hand side. Help down the line, looking for Butterini. Butterini does well. Just got his stick ahead and draws the foul. It's a good attacking position for Fremantle. Got bodies inside the circle. Walker. 2 folds, comes back to McCormick. McCormick carries forward, looking to slide that into the deep, beats the first man, plays it out wide now to Lawler. Lawler shaped to go on the reverse, then double back onto his forehand and gives it to McCormick. McCormick again looking to make a darting run towards the circle, but that was cut off well by Pampling. And the deflection again off the stick of Bircher, another long corner after a good pass from Andrew Walker. McPherson, short little pass. Murad at the top of the D, looking to feed it into the path again of the advancing Chad Giles, but it just ran too far ahead of him. And it was a shame because Giles was making good space into the circle and was already winding up to have a shot on the reverse stick. Thomas breaking forward again. Comes back now to Andrew Vaitikanis. Played out to the left-hand side, but nobody there. Ben Taylor, I think, was just expecting to find a player hanging out wide. Must have been part of the game plan as Hill gets past the first defender, draws the foul, and Ben Full just leaves the ball and gets into a defensive position. And no goals still, but it has been a sprightly affair. Another great block, top of the circle coming from Benfield, but it just caught his foot, so it'll be a Fremantle free hit directly in front of goal. Ball must travel the 5 metres before it goes into the circle. Goes out wide, and it was slapped towards the D by Andrew Walker. But there was nobody there in the black and white. Bircher taking that early. You could see he was trying to catch Fremantle unawares. Gabriel with a good lead, but it was again misdirected pass, played into space and just too far ahead of Gabriel. Ellis. Ball played almost under the feet of Kieran Abbott, but he did well. But it's now Pampling trying to create for Vic Park Panthers. Just dumps the ball back. Good awareness shown by Sasha Thomas. That's a superb block, edge of the D. But it's come back to Vic Park and trying to find a way through his Hulbert. Has to just push it out wide onto the right-hand side. It's Steele again. McCormick reading that well, carries forward. Has he gone too far? Somehow keeps the ball on the end of his stick. Shows and then goes and gets the foul from Sasha Thomas. Sasha Thomas, who in 2015 played for the great Wheatbelt Hockey Association, a team that was coached by Mark Knowles, and said he learned a great deal having Mark Knowles as his coach, the former Kookaburra's captain, now retired from international hockey, but still playing up in Queensland. And just taking the deflection, so it'll be a long corner again to Fremantle. Just taking the ball back is James McPherson. McCormick advancing. Again, looking to go on his forehand and slap it into the circle. Well read at the top of the D by Hulbert. Hulbert, he was trying to carry it forward and just had it taken off his stick, calling for the ball really quickly. It was a good little touch coming from Chad Giles. Giles again getting the touch and just taking it over the sideline. 10 minutes till half-time. And the ball from Benfoot just too far behind Bircher, so over the side it goes, and Fremantle the chance to attack again. Nathan Lawler from the side goes backwards. McCormick full stretch. Comes back to Ellis. Help down the line, well read again by the Vic Park defence. Gabriel, a little bit of space, no one in support now on halfway. Plays the short pass up forward, Pampling picks up, Gabriel continues his run. And it goes off the stick defensively from James McPherson. Pampling, self pass from the side. He tries to get inside the circle, and then again it was good defence coming across. He's playing it over the baseline, long corner to Vic Park. Just waiting in the shadows is Hulbert, stops it on the line. Good defensive wall coming from Fremantle. Benfoot comes across now to Dylan Rowe. What a block that was coming off the stick of Lawler. Good chance now for Fremantle to counter-attack. Lawler breaking forward. Benfoot, though, solid and determined, and just off-drives that over the side. And that's a good turn at the top of the circle from Butterini. And off the foot of Butterini. No argument from him. Bench down below us, disputing whether it hit his foot or not, but there was no argument from the coach of Fremantle. Hulbert again put under pressure, but the ball manages to come out to Rowe. Rowe just flicks it in the air down the line, brought down by Gabriel. Gabriel watched all the way, and in the end, well intercepted. And now a lovely turn coming from Andrew Walker. Walker, though, in the end, penalised for obstruction. So Hulbert over the ball again for Vic Park Panthers. 7.5 minutes till half-time. Comes back to Benfoot. Taylor helps it forward. Good pass from him. Manages to pick out Brodie Sarr. Sarr just lost possession, though. Butterini loses possession quickly. Good work being done again. And inside it goes to the circle, but across the top. Everyone had just pushed a little bit further forward towards the penalty spot as Sasha Thomas played that ball in. So Riley Folds. There's 2 balls on the pitch. He thought he was taking it from the wrong position. Nobody's seen the ball just over the baseline. So McCormick, hemmed in the corner, decides to take on the Vic Park players. All he can do is just push it over the side. So another good attacking position for Vic Park. Are they going to break the deadlock before the half-time break? It's been a really good display by them, and it's hard to believe they currently sit 10th on the ladder with a performance like this against the top team. Into the circle it goes. Good defence from Ellis again. Stolen off him by Hulbert, but the free hit goes the way of Fremantle. First time played down the side, and Spencer couldn't keep it in play. Looks at his stick as if it had a hole in it, but I think he just missed it. From the side, Denver Farmer goes back to Shane Benfoot. Clark now back to Benfoot again. Benfoot under a little bit of pressure. Looks to double back and ran into Chad Giles. Managed to get the free hit though from the side. And admitting the foul. So another free hit. Just the arm raised in the tackle. And that's helped forward Tim Bottler. Can he keep it in play? He will indeed. He's just inside the circle. Not a lot of support for Fremantle. Looks to slide it across. He was trying to play it into the path of Viren Marat, but unfortunately it just went behind Marat. Marat, who played for Southern Districts in the Auckland region for a long time when they were the cream of the crop in New Zealand. Also won the NHL in New Zealand with Auckland. Viren Marat. Ball from the side now for Fremantle. Lawler plays it himself, and then just the deflection coming off Abbott, picked up by Benford. Collins winning the free hit. Benford steps forward to take it. Short handle, off the foot it looked to me, but play on is the call from the umpire. And Decisive now, the player who has been penalised for kicking the ball inside the circle as he looked to play the pass. Short pass to McPherson. Has to go back. And that's going to go out of play off the stick of Mark Ellis. So another long corner given away cheaply by Fremantle. They get the numbers behind the ball. Restricting the run of Sasha Thomas. Brilliantly timed tackle coming in from Chad Giles, and Fremantle, I think, feeling that there should have been maybe a card issued there to James Collins. We haven't had any cards as yet, and what nice when you see players trying to get players booked as Marat comes forward now for Fremantle. Pushes it too far wide and behind his teammate. And apologies coming from McPherson, who just maybe pushed a little bit too far forward. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Collins again looks to weave his magic, lifts it up in the air. Ellis brings it down for Fremantle. Oh, Gabriel, that was brilliant the way he stole that away from Ellis. Gabriel continues down the sideline, plays a short little pass. We'll get the return pass, but Riley Folds read it well. Then it's won back by Pampling. Pampling along the baseline, looks to flick it back. Marat clears it to the side, and eventually it comes out to Batterini. And Gabriel almost sparking a goal for Vic Park Panthers, but unfortunately his combination with Pampling, they just couldn't find each other inside the circle to get a shot away. But good defence again from Fremantle, who've been resolute in this first half. Collins now closed down by Batterini. Come out wide now to Bradley Clark. Helps it down the line. Good shielding coming from Pampling, but it was good defensive play as well from Riley Folds. Batterini brought that down brilliantly and steered the ball behind Collins, but Collins recovered quickly to get possession back for his team, and that's good play again from Thomas. Thomas advancing towards the D. Thomas into the D goes, looks for a foot. Good defensive play by Marat. Comes to Riley Folds now, who has the presence of mind not to just smash it clear, but just look up and see what was available. Saw he wasn't under pressure and dribbled it clear. So last minute and a half now of the first half. Still no goals. You'd have to say, looks unlikely we're going to get one before the half-time break. Batterini, short little pass from him. Looking up was Chad Giles. And he decided to take the ball infield, lost possession now. Andrew Veitacanis, he's dispossessed by a good tackle from McPherson. Fremantle have played just 2 draws this season, so they've not had that many draws in their season. And Vic Park just the 1 draw, so I'm sure we will get a result in this game. Gabriel, a little bit of space, and coming in, just taking the deflection was Lawler, and he needed to, and then it was just poured away by Jonathan Ellis in goal for Fremantle. So very close to opening the scoring late in this first half. Fremantle under pressure once more, but it was a really good touch coming from Lawler. As Tim Bottler just left the ball behind as he looked to advance. As he tried to sneak one against the run of play for Fremantle. Over the top it goes. Now there's trouble. Aidan Lowe's, it's going to be a goal. Well, no, it's not. Well, umpire saying that wasn't a goal. Aidan Lowe's thought he'd open the scoring, but he hasn't. Right at the end of the first half, we go into the half-time break, and it is still Victoria Park Xavier Hockey Club 0, Fremantle Hockey Club 0. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. Half-time just about to come to an end for Fremantle and Vic Park. 0-0 after the first half, which may be a bit of a surprise when you think Vic Park are 10th on the ladder and Fremantle are top. But it's been Victoria Park who've been the really dominant side in that first half. And I would think that Matthew Butterini will have a bit of work to do with his players. Simon Orchard also helping out with the coaching today, the former Kookaburra. He's apparently injured, so not available for Fremantle. He's been very loyal to the club since he moved over here from Maitland in New South Wales as part of the Australian Institute of Sport. And it looks as if Fremantle are going to change their goalkeepers in this second half. Johan Durst, who made his Kookaburra's debut in a warm-up game before the Champions Trophy against Germany, will be playing under the bar for them in the second half. Originally from the Hawthorn Hockey Club in Melbourne. And actually only started playing hockey at the age of 14 and apparently excelled from the minute he started. So Johan Durst is a player now to keep an eye on as he puts pressure on Tyler Lovell and Andrew Charter in the Kookaburra squad. But he's going to get the nod for the second half for Fremantle. Dom Hurd will remain in goal for Vic Park as he squeaks his way down the pitch towards his goal. So 0-0 at the moment. Who is going to break the deadlock? As I mentioned, Victoria Park have looked the most likely in the first half. Can they find a way through in the second half? Saying that, Fremantle's defence has been very, very good, marshalled by the experienced Daryl McCormick. Daryl McCormick, who someone said to me is truly deserved to be called a club legend. He's played over 300 games for Fremantle and won the Olympians medal, which is for the fairest and best in Western Australia in 2007. And certainly a very popular character down at Fremantle. So Vic Park, the whistle has gone. Get us underway. And there was a slight delay because Chad Giles couldn't find his stick. And so in the end, we've seen Oliver Hill come on for Fremantle at the start of the second half. You don't see that too often. Almost memories of former England cricketer Bob Willis going out to bat when he forgot his cricket bat. As we saw Chad Giles looking to go out for the second half without his stick. And hopefully his teammates will not let him forget that for a while. So Folds dispossessed by Gabriel. Gabriel advancing again, lively as ever. Gabriel goes past one defender, keeps it in play, lays it back, top of the circle. Good chance, and it's pushed wide. Well, what a chance for Phil Hulbert, but he pushed it wide. A man with over 400 Premier Grade games under his belt, and he's put his head in his hand. He cannot believe what an opportunity that was, set up brilliantly by Jason Gabriel. So Fremantle under the cosh at the moment. Good defence again. Top of the circle. Collins now on the reverse. Lifts it over the goal. Took a slight touch, so it will in fact be another long corner to Vic Park. We've got two balls on the pitch. Going to get rid of one of those. So Hulbert, he'll have nightmares about that one. Bircher plays it to Benful. Benful carries forward now. Looks to slide it in. Deflection in front of the penalty spot from McCormick. Another long corner to Vic Park. Hulbert. Back to Bircher. Bircher, good diagonal pass from him. Managed to pick out Bradley Clark. Clark into the circle he goes. Stick low to the ground. Great defensive play. And Fremantle, again, have managed to withstand that attack. But it was really good play coming from Oliver Hill. What a chance that was for Vic Park Panthers. And in a game where Fremantle's defence has been rock solid under immense pressure, you just wonder how many other opportunities they'll be able to carve out. Just took a deflection off of Veitakenis. So Riley Foles plays on from the side. Plays it straight into Veitakenis, who steals possession for Vic Park. Little pass to Hulbert. Hulbert out wide again, looking to play it into the feet. Free hit won brilliantly by Brodie Saar. Saar, the captain. And it goes off in a long corner. No, is it? It's a 16 given. Bottler brings it down. Tim Bottler, who not that long ago became a father for the first time. And if you've ever seen him with his child, he is a very doting father. Benful just pushes it over the side, and in it comes. Park thought that was their ball from the side, although it's gone the other way. Brodie Saar a little bit disappointed. Butterini comes straight off the bench, takes it quickly, and just pushed the pass too far ahead of Declan Spencer, as it looked a promising attack from Fremantle. Accelerating forward, Benful. Short little pass to Collins. Butterini's stick swinging. Collins evades it and manages to accelerate, and through the legs came the stick of McCormick. Collins lucky, well, unlucky, I think, to get away with not having a free hit for that, because his path was certainly impeded by McCormick. Shadows beginning to stretch over the Perth Hockey Stadium, and the temperature beginning to drop just a little bit as Mark Ellis collects and plays it out and feeds Andrew Walker. Walker had snapping at his heels Sasha Thomas. Thomas steals possession, breaks forward. Thomas just stops at the 22-metre line, spins, and gets himself in a little bit of trouble as he lost the ball through his own legs, and then Andrew Walker's. Sasha Thomas, who comes from Narrombeam, which is in the wheat belt of Western Australia, very near Bruce Rock. Deflection again over the side from Veitakenis. In fact, apologies, it wasn't Veitakenis, it was Aidan Lowes, who thought he'd opened the scoring late in the first half and was denied by the whistle. Bottler, good deflection. Can he accelerate away? Yes, he can. Tim Bottler inside the deep. Gets a shot at goal, but easily blocked by Dom Hurd. They'll run the length of the pitch, not cause anyone any problems whatsoever. Riley Foles takes the 16. McCormick goes back to Foles, makes him stretch. He just keeps it in play, and now he'll be put under a little bit of pressure, but manages to break forward. And the ball just deflecting up into the body of the Vic Park player. Butterini just goes off the edge of his stick. Frustration showing on the player coach's face. Collins, quick early ball from him is a good one. Hayden Veitakenis keeps it alive, one hand on the stick, plays it into the deep. Unfortunately, just bounced away from Pampling. Over the side it goes from Kieran Abbott, so still a good chance for Vic Park. Andrew Veitakenis first timed it into the circle, looking for the run of his brother, but picked up well again by McCormick, and a chance for Fremantle. And just as I said, that really good defensive play, stretching at full stretch, Dylan Rowe. Good turn from Hill. Benful takes the ball, but the free hit goes the way of Fremantle. So who is going to break the deadlock in this match? Round 19 of the Men's Premier League competition here in Western Australia. And this live stream brought to you by Tiger Turf, Ausdrill and Danks Furniture, proudly Western Australian. Riley Folds picks up wide on the left-hand side, looks to cut infield. Short little pass into the D, finds Hill. Hill put under pressure from Benfield, forced outside of the circle. Has to come back. Now the ball comes to Mark Ellis. Ellis will go all the way back to halfway to McCormick. Ellis again looking up as he carries the ball forward. Plays it out to Folds. Folds was closed down immediately by Pampling. Into the circle it went, deflected away, not picked up, and now Lowe's. Good pass from him, really good pass, and a chance to break forward by Thomas. Thomas bursting forward, looks to release it back to Lowe's. Lowe's gets a touch. Durst came at it, bobbled out, and the free hit though has gone Fremantle's way, and they've played on quickly. Slow to his feet, I think it was McCormick, but it's not. Defensive line for Fremantle. May well be Kieran Abbott, I think, who's limping off. In fact, it's Nathan Lawler. My apologies, I couldn't work out who it was as he was hobbling down below us after that challenge with Aidan Lowe's, but Durst was put under a bit of pressure. His first touch, he'll be pleased he kept the ball out of the goal and kept it at 0-0. Walker helps it forward. Free hit goes Fremantle's way again. And just slipping as he looked to receive, that was Pat Manahan. And now it's Gabriel. Good steal. Just stepping forward was Mark Ellis. Pat Manahan looking to lay it back. This time though it's good defensive work from Dylan Rowe. Finds Lowe's. Lowe's plays it into the path of Brodie Sarr. Sarr into the corner and plays it cleverly off the stick of McPherson for a long corner for Vic Park Panthers. Taken quickly now by Denver Farmer. Looks to slide it into the deep. Good defence again by Marat at the top of the circle. Breaking forward again for Fremantle is McCormick. Chased down by Denver Farmer. In the end, McCormick has to go back to Ellis. Walker helps it forward. Abbott able to turn. Helps it forward, and it's just too far ahead of Chad Giles, who now has his stick in his hand after having forgotten it at half-time, or misplaced it. Maybe that's probably a nicer way of putting it. That's a very good steal from Hulbert, who has had probably the best chance of the match so far, and managed to put it wide. He's found Gabriel. Now Gabriel advances on Durst, looks to lay it back. Brodie Sarr fires home, and Vic Park have finally got the lead, and it's their just reward for a really excellent first half and a good start to the second half as well. So Brodie Sarr on the end of a really good pass from Gabriel. So 1-0 it is to Vic Park at the moment. Plenty of time though for Fremantle to find a reply as Gabriel picks up again. Lovely pass into the path of Hulbert. Hulbert pushes it out wide. This is good from Vic Park again. Almost inside the D. We're going to ground. Lucky to get away with that was Marat, just to stop Pampling getting into the circle. Of course, nowadays a lot of umpires very strict on players going to ground in the tackle. Well, how will Fremantle respond? They've lost 4 games this season. Is this going to be a 5th, and is it going to really open it up at the top of the ladder? And this time going to ground, it's the Victoria Park player in Andrew Vaitikanis. Marat having to just turn and go back to McCormick. Riley Folds now collects, carries over halfway. Folds pursued all the way. Pat Manahan, that's a really good pass, and now there's danger. Fremantle across the face of goal. Brilliant save from Dom Hurd. The ball's got trapped underneath, and we'll have the first penalty corner of the match going the way of Fremantle. But Hurd doing his job. It was a really good pass first time from Pat Manahan, and then Walker into the circle it went. And a good first time save from Dominic Hurd. So is this now the chance for Fremantle to get back on level terms from a penalty corner? Making his way to the baseline to inject his Spencer. Top of the circle, waiting. Kieran Abbott and Viren Marat. Abbott at the first battery, Marat at the second. They go to Abbott. Abbott sweeps. The runner's done his job. Comes back to Marat. Hurd saves, but kicks the ball straight into the Fremantle player's feet. And because it was kicked low, it wasn't dangerous. And so now there's a chance on the counter-attack. Ball comes back to Hulbert. Great break out of defence by Vic Park. Got on with it quickly. Pat Manahan, a good block from him. Long corner now to Vic Park. Fremantle very slow to get back after that penalty corner save. Spin, tries too far, and it comes off Durst. Up in the air it goes. Penalty corner the other end. Well, Durst just was caught a little bit, I think, by the spin from Vaitikanis. Came along the baseline, then ricocheted up in his off his pads, and Folds had nowhere to go, and it was then deemed dangerous. So the first penalty corner of the match now for Vic Park, and can they double their lead? So Johan Durst going to have to be really on his mettle now. So Ben Taylor, not surprisingly, waiting at the top of the circle alongside him. Dylan Rowe. Dylan Rowe at the first battery. Ben Taylor at the second. Ben Taylor, who has been in good form. 7 goals in the season. It's trapped well, not so well, but he got the shot away. Durst saves, the rebound goes up, and that's, oh dear, caught full on the head. Well, that struck James McPherson on the head. Luckily, he had a face mask on. Just getting right underneath that was Dylan Rowe. And McPherson, not surprising, I think he's going over to the sideline. And there was an apology from one of the Vic Park players, which was good to see. McPherson saying at least someone apologised as he leaves the field of play. Hopefully he is okay. Butterini now trying to spark something for Fremantle. The ball to the baseline. Bottler can't keep it in play, but it'll be a long corner to Fremantle. Just under 20 minutes left in this match. Vic Park Panthers leading by 1-0. Already saw the scorer in the 45th minute. Riley Folds. Looks to just slide that one forward, looking for the deflection. Managed to get a foot off the stick of Chad Giles. Marat comes back to Ellis. Ellis now helps it, deflection inside the D, came off the stick of Hill, but no panicking, and over the side, or in fact over the baseline it goes off the captain. Just hurrying a little bit, the passing not being completed as they would have liked as Gabriel makes way. Coming on is Aidan Lowes, and straight away looks for a run. And that is a brilliant run by Aidan Lowes coming on. He went one way, then pulled the other, fires it across. Durst was perfect coming off his line because Hayden Vaitikanis was sliding in for the deflection at the back post. Good awareness from the Fremantle goalkeeper. But also great play between Lowes and Vaitikanis. Lowes coming straight off the bench and immediately involved, and that's what you want from your players. So Batterini again makes his way off down the left-hand side. Has to just cut infield. Strong blast on the whistle. Played on quickly by Chad Giles. Giles trying to find his way along the back line. Came in off the pads. Bottler couldn't get the touch. Hurd again. He was well placed at his near post. And it goes off the Fremantle player. It'll be a 16 to Vic Park. Halfway through the second half now. Fremantle trailing by 1-0. Coming into today, they were top of the ladder. Are they going to be at the end of the weekend? That is the big question. With 3 teams just 2 points behind them. A defeat today would put the minor premiership maybe in doubt, and they would have to win everything and hope that the teams above them lost as well. Vic Park, though, certainly belying their position in the league table as Benful plays it straight into the hand of Declan Spencer, who is wringing it in agony down below us. Did have a protective mitt on his hand, but hasn't really done a great deal, I don't think. Benful again involved, has to go back. Taylor made a good lead, it'll come to him now. Helps it down the line, good running by Lowe's. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. Did his best to do so. So Brodie Sarr with his 7th goal of the season in this his 18th game. It's the goal that is the difference between the two at the moment. Will it be the winner? Comes back to Lowe's again after some good work from Sasha Thomas. Thomas, though, dispossessed, edge of the circle, but it goes off Fremantle stick over the baseline. Long corner to Vic Park. Bircher helps it down. Lowe's, first time, fires it across to the penalty spot. Collected inside the D, and then he just couldn't keep it in play. It was Pampling. Good play again from Vic Park. And they're managing to unpick the lock of the Fremantle defence at the moment. They just can't get the bolt off the door because Johan Durst has made a few key saves. And also in the first half, Jonathan Ellis, who was under the bar for Fremantle in that first 35 minutes. In it comes, space for Collins inside the D, releases it, Lowe's lifts it over the crossbar on the acute angle. And he looks up to the heavens. Well, Lowe would know that that was a great opportunity, Lowe's rather. If they'd have gone 2-0 with 15 minutes to go, you would have thought that Fremantle, it would be a lost cause for them, but at 1-0, they're still in with a sniff. McCormick. South passes. Goes almost from the shadows into the sunlight. Riley Folds couldn't keep that ball in play. McCormick, full stretch, just plays it over the side with a grunt. Brodie Sarr plays on quickly. Gabriel, another good lead from him. He's been doing it all afternoon for Vic Park. Cracks it into the D, and unfortunately, Lowe's that time was just stumbling into the D. Ball still alive with Andrew Vaitakanis, but it's been won back again by Fremantle. Spencer manages to feed the ball forward into the path of Giles. And Giles just kicking it forward. Bircher plays it out wide for Vic Park. It's been a really solid display by them, and I'm sure their coach Andrew Just will be over the moon. He was a little bit disappointed when he was told yesterday that Jake Wetton would not be available. Jake Wetton sitting in the stands with his pregnant wife, just watching the game today. Good to see him supporting his club. Ellis now for Fremantle. Finds McPherson, the captain. Comes wide to Walker. Infield it goes. Tim Bottler dropping back into the midfield to try and get some touches and get involved. Now Butterini. Butterini, though, did it just catch his foot? Played it into the shins. Butterini self passes, plays on. Bottler's just ahead of him. Butterini cuts infield. Again, it goes up, I thought, off the foot. Yes, the whistle agrees with me. So Butterini, then it comes back into the D. It goes deflected across the face of goal, and Hulbert was there. Fremantle a little bit disappointed that they didn't get more from that attack. Ball in from Spencer, though, was a little bit direct. And the way Vic Parker been defending it was okay, and fortunate for Folds as it came off his stick and then into Pampling. I wouldn't say that was deliberate. A bit of unskill coming to his benefit. Walker now helps it down the line. Ellis, a little bit of space for him. Has to just check back as Aidan Lowe's puts him under pressure. Comes back again now to Walker. Has to go all the way back to McCormick. Looking to slide that into the path of Hill. Hill collected well under pressure from Clark. McCormick again, over halfway. And that was a very good pass to pick out the run of Riley Folds. Just perfectly weighted and angled as well. Folds into the corner. Just lays it back, trying to spin and get the ball into the deep was Murat. Again, Fremantle need to just be patient. Still 11 and a half minutes left in the match for them to find an equaliser. Gets to Bottler on the baseline. Benful had his stick there, and it goes off. Fremantle feeling they should have had a long corner. A wry grin on the face of James McPherson as he jogs back. Umpire was ideally placed to see whether it was off McPherson or the defender. Folds misses the ball, and now there's a chance for a Victoria Park attack again. Gabriel not making a run this time, just lurking and waiting as Pampling looks to be dispossessed by Murat, kept in play by the Panthers. Now Gabriel runs. Brilliant save from Durst. Well, Gabriel, that was opportunism at his best. Slid in, got the deflection, and Durst, superb reflex save, put it over the crossbar. Well, that was excellent play by both Vic Park and the Fremantle goalkeeper. Here they come again. Benful now. And it's a free hit going the way of Vic Park. Benful just outside the 22, so it can be played directly in. And the deflection this time from Gabriel goes wide, as once again we thank our sponsors, SportsLink International, FMG and Kookaburra, for making this live stream possible. Is there a way back for Fremantle? Brodie Saab collects, evades the first challenge, evades the second, goes infield and draws the foul. Free hit. We're in the final 10 minutes of this match. Fremantle getting a little bit more desperate. Is the minor premiership slipping through their fingers? Ben Taylor looks to play it forward. Picked up well, though, by Walker. McPherson and to Murat. Murat's pass was misplaced and almost stolen by Gabriel. Good recovery by Murat. Riley Folds manages to find Walker. Walker well directed and had to get a touch. It may go to Bottler still. Bottler collects, looks to spin inside the circle, strikes, and it's wide. Certainly, it was Denver Farmer at the back that lost possession. Will be very relieved that Tim Bottler's shot wasn't on target and didn't arrow into the bottom left-hand corner of Dom Hurd's goal. Just under 9 minutes left. Fremantle having to try and find a way. Benful again, rock solid as ever. Shane Benful, originally from South Australia. Whyalla was the player of the tournament in the Indoor Nationals back in 2013. It's amazing how many defenders have excelled indoors, and their tackles are timed to perfection as a result of it. Taylor collects in the sunshine, shielding his eyes, comes back to him. Bircher. Down the line it goes. Dylan Rowe, just off the sticker hill, it goes over the side. Dylan Rowe, who originally went to school, Parktown Boys High in Johannesburg, but very much a Western Australian these days. Also attended Como Secondary College, so he's schooling in both parts of the Southern Hemisphere. Intercepted brilliantly by Bircher at full stretch. Dispossessed, though, by Batterini. Batterini looking to advance. Good skills from him. Draws the foul on the 22-metre line. And again, we've got 2 balls on the pitch, and not quite sure why Ball Patrol would throw his second ball on when Batterini had the ball on the end of his stick. But anyway, the direct approach again comes to nothing from Declan Spencer. Just a little bit more craft needed by Fremantle around the circle. Brody Sarr finds Aidan Lowes. Lowes looks to cut infield. Good tackle coming from Mark Ellis. Infield it goes. Shouting from the Fremantle bench, just getting a little bit louder, and that was a really difficult pass for Ellis to control from Spencer. He didn't manage to do so, and now it's a chance for Vic Park again. Veitacanis lays it forward. Aidan Lowes trying to create space, looks to square it across the circle. McCormick, rock solid as ever, picks up for Fremantle. His pass is going to not find its mark with Tim Bottler, and it's a chance for Aidan Lowes to collect again as he got a good pass forward from Dylan Rowe. Lowes, good pass, edge of the deep. Pampling dispossessed, and now there's a chance. Tim Bottler has Batterini ahead of him, looks to find him brilliantly, just stepping in front. Ian Bircher again has timed those tackles to perfection, read the game perfectly, stepped out when he needed to. Here comes Sasha Thomas. Thomas still going, into the circle he goes. Thomas still has it. And then a penalty corner won by him. Great play from Sasha Thomas. So second penalty corner of the match now for Victoria Park. Can they put the icing on the cake and maybe even the cherry? Bircher comes out with the message from the coaching staff into the huddle. As they slowly take up their positions. Dylan Rowe, and alongside him, Shane Benfield. Aidan Lowes just being pulled back. Comes out, Dylan Rowe sweeps, good save from Durst. And it went back into the feet of Pampling, the injector. Good coming back from Tim Bottler, although having to keep that in play and almost running into the hoardings. He did run into them. Kieran Abbott just not wanting to concede the long corner. 4.5 minutes back left in the match. As Vic Park again go on a surging run inside the deep. At the moment they're clinging to their 1-0 lead. Bottler will play on from the side. Short little pass, infield finds Abbott. Abbott, well, he evades the first challenge and then in a scissor movement gets another free hit. We get the first card of the match. Played on quickly by Spencer. Spencer, though, stopped at the top of the circle. So Vic Park down to 10 men as Andrew Veitacanis takes his seat down below us with the green card. And Fremantle appealing for a free hit. McCormick had his arm raised, nothing given. Gabriel, a good run down the baseline, kept in play again by Sasha Thomas, who's been really lively for Vic Park. Thomas spinning one way, then the other, keeps possession. Stick coming from Lawler, but Thomas kept possession. Eventually Lawler stole it, brought down brilliantly though by Hulbert. Hulbert now trying to show his magic skills and gets a free hit. And Fremantle have decided to pull their goalkeeper. So it looks like Mark Ellis will be the kicking fullback for Fremantle. 3 minutes remaining for Fremantle to find an equaliser and at least get a share of the spoils today. Otherwise, they're going down to their 5th defeat of the season. And you would feel maybe losing their position at top of the table. With only a few rounds still to play. 3 more rounds after today in the men's Premier competition, and then we enter the final series. And of course, where you finish can have a big bearing on who you play in those finals games. And despite your confidence, there's usually teams you'd rather meet as opposed to teams you want to avoid. Birchup, good diagonal pass from him. Sasha Thomas couldn't get the touch. Chasing is Gabriel, sliding is Gabriel, but he can't keep it in play. Almost just 2 minutes left, just over 2 minutes. McCormick plays it square to Ellis. He just helps it forward into the path of Walker. Infield went Walker to his captain McPherson. McPherson surrounded, had to go back to Ellis. Now McCormick's in space. Ball goes to him. Folds, again good space by him. Spencer tries to go himself and draws the foul. And Vic Park player not getting out the way. It was Takana, something only just come back on. So he needs to be a little bit careful as the ball comes wide again. Spencer, good deflection along the baseline. Batterini earns a long corner. Minute and a half left in the match. Can Fremantle find an equaliser? Ellis goes left to McCormick. McCormick shapes one way, goes the other. Lets Thomas go down on one knee. Slides it into the D, but it was too close. And unfortunately for Fremantle, Morar couldn't keep the ball in play or deflect it towards goal from the edge of the circle. Batterini making sure the 16 is taken from where it should be as Benful makes a run up the flank. He can't keep it in play. Possession back with Fremantle. We're in the final minute. Can they find an equaliser? Into the feet of Benful. That looked to me almost deliberate, that he just put his feet there just to stop the ball getting forward. Ellis now got the ball stuck under his feet, but he still manages to get it forward. Heavy touch from Walker, sees it go back, but Walker won it back off Lowe's. Out wide it comes now. And that's crashed in towards the D. But unfortunately, it's a long way off target. No one can get a touch, and Declan Spencer knows that that is probably the last chance for Fremantle. It's blocked by Batterini, but I'm sure he wasn't the 5 metres. He knows it too. The smile on his face says so. And that will be the end of the match. And Vic Park aren't even going to take the 16. So what a victory for Vic Park. A really solid performance by them today. And in the end, it was Brodie Sarr's goal when he was set up by Jason Gabriel in the 45th minute that was the difference between the two teams. The final score here, Vic Park Xavier Hockey Club 1, Fremantle Hockey Club 0.